Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bill Green's Maine, coming to you this Memorial Day weekend from Evergreen Cemetery in Portland. Surely the first two people had the first race, and then we invented the wheel and they raced pulling carts, and then got horses and they raced them pulling wagons, and then cars and airplanes, and now they're racing drones. And to find out who flies the fastest drones in Maine, we checked out the Maine Multi-Rotor Club.
3, 2, 1, race!
If you want to know how great America is, where am I going? Consider what these guys are doing. Grown men who are so totally immersed in their sport that they've even designed a system so that, wearing goggles, they can experience flight.
This is the fastest growing hobby in the world right now. There's a lot of opportunity for people who want to get in.
It's the guy that's really good.
A technology called first-person view, FPV, turns these guys on. You put the goggles on and see a little video signal sent from a camera on the drone. It's as if you're sitting on the drone going 100 miles an hour. This guy's good. Now, I don't get motion sickness or seasickness, but after popping on the goggles for a minute, I could feel a little something coming on. As I said, Top Gun does some great flying all the way up to the minute you died. It's a wild ride, and these flyboys need cat-like reactions.
I think coming from a gaming background, I think it's easier.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't know, maybe I just react faster.
30 seconds!
I thought you said 3 seconds.
Perhaps it's reactions, or perhaps it's because he's had more time in the virtual world.
Oh shoot, I didn't even click record.
Whichever, 12-year-old Garrison Zhu of Orono is the man to beat in these competitions. He says a good pilot must be many things, but one ability stands out above all others.
Somebody that knows their surroundings even when they're not looking at where they're going. I could be looking at the ground and still know where the next gate is.
Let's start at the start.
You're gonna want full speed when you go at that gate right there.
Think of the race course as the 5 little black dots on a dice, or the 5 pips on a die, to be grammatically correct. The race starts with the drones flying through the lower pip, up through the upper left pip, down through the middle pip, up through the lower right pip, and then the top right pip, and then all the way over the course and back to the beginning. Most laps in 2 minutes wins. Crashing's not good.
Yeah, I'm down.
You crash a lot.
Did you swear in front of the camera?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have to bleep that.
So you have a lot of impact. If you don't have a good solder joint, you know, you could take you out of the race, no problem.
Obviously, good equipment is paramount.
Oh my goodness. Still in one piece.
These guys build their own stuff and find it quite exciting that the sport is evolving in garages all over the country. In fact, the technology is just barely good enough to enable these guys to compete with each other. Each race starts
Where's the guy up?
with everyone getting on their own frequency and with a safety check.
So the things that I'm checking for today are frequency, to make sure that their quads are transmitting on the correct frequency. We check for failsafe, and the failsafe is that if the pilot loses signal for the radio failure, battery failure, anything like that, that the quad responds the way that we want it to. And how we want it to respond is, if it loses signal, it shuts the motors off immediately, drops out of the sky.
GP stands for Grand Prix Racing.
This will do probably about 80 miles an hour top speed.
The drones use brushless or electric motors. And once you know what you're doing, you can build one for about $500 or so. And competing in the sport costs about the same as playing amateur golf.
The motors are really the part that make a huge difference on these. You can step up in motor size, and you know you'll gain so much more thrust from them.
Yeah.
And that's where you gain all your speed, of course, is from the thrust of them.
Having a hand in the development of a sport and a technology is exciting for these pilot/geeks. They also say they don't have the technology to do the espionage that people fear. Generally, they go off by themselves and fly drones, not bothering anyone, and no one seems to bother them.
The problem is people flying close to other people, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You know, causing someone some physical injury or something like that. I don't feel handcuffed about flying drones because nobody bothers me when I fly.
Maine Multi-Rotor Club, the Maine Multi-GP, wants to get the word out about how fun their sport is and invites you to join. So if you like to tinker and you like to race, here's a sport that can take you to new heights.